What up, world? Welcome again to another episode of the YBME podcast, where your breakthrough moves everything. And we're here on another episode. And our first time ever, we actually have a guest that came here on our episode. And this one is an educational spark for people that want to know how to get to the money. We got the money in the room. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Welcome to the YBME podcast. We got the Fee Gee twins in the building.
Hey.
And we got a special guest.
Yes.
I want to shout out to somebody that's definitely leveling up
That part.
with the Level Up Alliance.
I love it.
Y'all give it up for my sister, Dee Garret. In the building.
Yay.
Dee Garret, how's it going, girl?
It is fantastic. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. I didn't know I was your first guest.
Yes.
So special.
You just made,
You're the
made history.
genesis of guests. Feel me? The
Here we
beginning.
go. Let's
love
do
it.
it. Let's do it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and we're here for it. You know, definitely want to get educated, and we just want to bring people awareness and talk about your breakthroughs as well while we're getting educated.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
thank you for hanging out with us today. You know, I'm just co-piloting. You know, that's just me being me.
Yeah.
But shout out to you being here, man. Let's get to it.
Yeah, this is like a not a bromance, but a sistermance, because we've met you at several networking events, and to have you on our show is definitely an honor. So thank you again,
Thank you.
like Dream said.
Yeah.
But I was excited about having you on this show only because I think that you are offering amazing services, but just like we talked about, sometimes us minorities really don't know a lot about financial wealth or financial literacy, and I think you have a lot of knowledge in that area, especially when it comes to investing and starting your own business or LLC. So can we just first talk about the LLC services that you offer for anybody who's out there wanting to start their businesses and what they
Can
need
we
to
start with what made her go that route? Is that too far back?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Oh, her breakthrough.
What your breakthrough? What
Okay,
made you go, wow.
rewind. Your breakthrough.
Okay.
My breakthrough. Wow. Yeah. Let's start
go.
there. Okay. So my name is Dee Garret, Level
Yes.
Up Alliance.
Yes.
And it's funny when I think about the name Level Up Alliance, I came to the realization, being a Black female from Denver, Colorado. I studied construction management education, path.
Okay.
Ended up going into real estate as a realtor for over a decade. Around that recession, got my license in 2006. So I was a full-time realtor in 2008. It was all of that hard stuff. And my breakthrough was when I realized I can't do this by myself.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I need allies.
Yeah. So were you doing commercial and residential when you were as a realtor?
So when I was in real estate, I was only selling residential. But it's interesting you say that because my educational background and career background had been in commercial development. And so when I got my license, I thought, I want to get into commercial real estate and maybe do the leasing agreement. I knew subcontractors that could build out the space, just wanted to be the one-stop shop.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the time, they just weren't taking on new licensees. And again, going into the time that we were in, everything was kind of slowing down with real estate. So we were kind of pulling back from even training people because when you're a commercial broker, the pay structure is a little bit different than a residential.
Yeah.
And so I didn't go residential. So I just pursued I didn't go commercial. I pursued the residential route and started working with homeowners who had distressed homes that they were, foreclosures and short sales. And that's kind of how I got into where I am now. But I think the breakthrough moment was when I, in the course of all that, being an independent single mom in real estate, doing it commission only.
Yeah.
That's gangster
That's
right
not
there.
easy. And so
Yeah.
I realized that my business was really thriving off of referrals. And I was like, I can't do this without other people. And so the allies are helping me level up. I'm like, this is what I need. And so Level Up Alliance is something that kind of birthed out of that.
Yeah.
And it actually started with not only on the real estate side, it was the credit. Because everybody comes, I want to buy a house. Well, what's your credit? Well,
Yeah.
that's
First
the next question.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
love it.
And so it all ties in together. And so then I started working with people on their credit services. And then once that kind of stabilized, so to speak, I kind of shifted and started working more so on the business side of things, because I ended up switching from residential sales and I ended up relocating and moving and stuff like that. Kind of left residential sales behind. But what was important at that time was business entities and establishing business credit. And so that was something that I was like, what? I've had this LLC for like 10 years and didn't realize I could leverage
saw
this.
That. Yes.
So it was an aha moment, you know? And I'm like, okay. So I started learning about leveraging business credit to grow my portfolio.
Yeah.
So
how important is, so this is great that you just brought that up. How important, and this is, I'm going to share this little, it's exciting thing. Okay. So you're level up. So I have a LLC and it's Elevate Now.
awesome.
So this is why, you know
Yes.
what, God had a reason why you're here. So this is awesome. But establishing business credit, why is that important?
Well, you know, it's important because when you can leverage your EIN versus SSN, when you go into a bank or a lender, they want to make sure that you're not a hobbyist.
Got it.
They're going to look at you as, okay, this is a real thriving business and this is an investment.
Stability, yeah.
Yeah, they want to see the stability. And so they know that you're serious about your business. And so it's important to, I guess, even establish a presence for that business. It's not always required, but if you can, you know, start building business credit, it's important to get to the bigger dollars.
That's right.
You know, because once you start getting things as simple, well, I'll just mention you can start with net 30 accounts with different different things.
Hold on, you're going too fast. I'm about to write this down. Hold on. No, we have to go back. Rewind. What did you say?
Look, yeah.
No, okay.
This is
So,
good information.
okay.
Yeah, that's like the first thing that you can do is go out and get net 30 accounts. But what's important, and for net 30, because I can't assume everybody knows what that means.
Yes.
Net 30 is that you're going to pay it within 30 days. It's like an account you set up with a vendor, and then you just have to pay the invoice within 30 days. And as a new business, you register with your EIN and establish an account with them. And but the key is you want to make sure that that particular company reports to the business credit bureaus, such as Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet.
So is that the first question you asked a vendor? Do you report to all three credit bureaus before you even start the business with them, the 30-day?
Well, I I would do the extra
Or can you
research.
research? Oh, you have to research it. Okay,
Yeah, or
research.
even when you're
Yes,
calling.
one-stop shop. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You're
you do the
doing all
research
work.
and then you know, there's so we have a full credit suite that you could get into, and we give you the whole list of who's
So there's a
reporting.
website out there that you have to pay into, and you can get all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, there's D out there.
And there's D.
Yeah, yeah.
She's right here.
It's on my
It's right
website.
here.
It's on my
I love
website.
it.
I know, I love
That's
it.
right here.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good.
so there, you know, but you can go out there and start your net 30 accounts. And the key is you want to spend at least $75 with that vendor, and not let it go the full 30 days. Maybe
Right.
pay it on day 26, 27, and just pay it off. Otherwise, if you pay it too soon, it's considered like a cash transaction, and they're not going to report it.
Got it.
And so you want to do that consistently for a good 3 months of reporting, so that they have that to report back to the bureau to start building your business credit.
love
So they
that.
start. So that's a net 30 account, and then once you have enough of those reporting on your business credit, then you can move into like trade lines, like a gas card in your business name. And
Is there a minimum of how many accounts you should have for 30 before you decide to go into trademark?
the recommended number is about 6.
6. Okay.
Reporting.
And again, this is all about building your business credit, right? It's just good information.
So how long? So for the 30.
okay, so Fee's gonna get her own LLC.
Sorry,
so
you know
let's
I
go.
am. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Let's go.
But so like this whole 30-day, is that the transaction? Is that like a 6-month process or a year? Or how long do you? I mean, every 30 days I get that, but do they also look at before you go to the trade thing? Trade? What did you call it? Trade.
Trade lines.
Trade lines. Is there like you have to be doing, or these 6 accounts have to be?
Net 30 for like a month
or something?
6 months to a
Or
year.
You're saying
Yeah.
how long will I need net 30 accounts before I can
Yeah,
move to?
because I'm sure everything
Yeah.
looks at stability and longevity, right?
Right. They do, because it's recommended again that you have at least 6 reporting for like 3 months at
3
least.
months. Okay. Yep.
And then from there you can move up. So it is a time consuming process when you're doing it. You know,
Do you hold us by the hand as we go through this process? Are you like
we
our
have a
accountability
team.
partner?
We have a team. Yeah.
Okay.
That can help you check in and make sure that hey,
Yes.
how's that
Yes,
coming?
yes.
And they'll hold you accountable to make sure that you've
I love that.
taken
It's like
those
fitness
steps.
for your business.
It is. It is.
Accountability.
It
Yeah.
really
It's a
is.
business.
Business
Yeah.
for your business. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
wow, that's
But I want to reiterate for people who don't understand why. So what's the big deal about business credit? And the reason why is, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because you're the expert. But if you're trying to go buy a house, right, and you have all this stuff on your personal credit, what's going to happen is something's going to pop up called debt to income ratio, which means you're opted out. You can't qualify
qualify.
because on your personal credit, you done maxed out, and there's no way you're going to qualify for this $3,800 mortgage. However, if you put everything on your business credit, it doesn't show up on your personal credit. So when you go run that credit for your home, your credit is free of the DTI.
Oh, wow.
And now you can purchase. So yeah, you got your car in your business credit name. You have your phone in your business credit name. You have all this stuff in your business. Yeah, you have these things.
Yeah.
But on your personal credit, when you try to go buy a home, it's free. So guess what? You qualify for the house. So you get the same car, but put it on
don't have
business
that-
credit. Is
that
that correct?
ratio.
Is that the
That's
reason
correct.
why?
Absolutely. And then on top of that, because when you're looking at to that point with banks, they want to make sure that if it's in the name of the business, that if something goes sideways with the deal, that it's not affecting your personal.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, but guess what? You are the personal guarantor.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
Until you get to another level.
Yeah, so you have to have your credit straight before they give you business credit. They won't give you business credit if your personal credit is. A lot of people are like, oh, I messed up my credit. Let me go over here. No, they don't play that.
So it goes hand in hand, personal
does.
and business credit.
Correct.
They have to be aligned.
So your personal credit is like sophomore, junior, freshman, sophomore, and then junior, senior is going to be your business credit,
Got it.
Yeah.
and then you graduate.
But you can still establish, even with not having the best personal credit, you can still establish good business credit. But the key is that when you think about your personal credit, it goes back to your payment history. Like if you're not paying your own bills, how are you going to pay the business bills?
Yeah.
So if you don't have good habits already in place,
Yeah.
Right.
then it's going to reflect on the business side.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, yes, you can, but when it gets to the higher levels, they're definitely going to be looking at both, especially when you're establishing an
Yeah,
LLC
behavior,
and
payment
trying to
behavior.
leverage.
So, because there's one in the room, you can open up businesses under babies.
Businesses under babies?
Okay, is there age requirement for business owners? Because I've heard of younger kids having businesses.
Well, I'm not an expert in that area.
Okay.
And for the sake of the actual entity itself, I can't.
You
I
mean
can't-
under your child's name?
Yeah.
Not
Well,
not literally babies.
Dream, doesn't your baby have a business?
So Junior has his own. So like it's like a basically account that. So when he matures to, I think it's 16 years old, it automatically is his anyway.
Is this,
So
a,
you
is
have
this an
to be the-
investment account?
It's his LLC. So
Okay.
Oh.
limited liability.
So there is no. Then you can do it at any age. It's at 16 it becomes
you
his
have
own.
you have to be the co.
You're like the co-guarantor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Okay.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is
Cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
new.
So yeah.
And it worked out cool. He's a junior, so
There you go.
it worked out really good.
Oh,
so,
because you went off based off a name.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not gonna be my
Nice.
situation. Okay.
yeah, but it worked out really good. But
Fee, do you have a
for
junior?
anybody,
No, girl, I have
you
a
gonna
boy.
But let me ask you a question based on your
That's
on your
cool.
breakthrough.
The boys get their thing.
Was
going.
there anything particular that happened in your life that made you just like, I need to get into this? Like, because we want to make sure that we're in alignment with your breakthroughs. Like, was this a financial breakthrough for you, or you just as always just balling out of LLC control?
No, I wasn't balling out of
Well, you
LLC.
mentioned earlier just being a real estate that was like off a commission, and you're like, okay, this is not you being
Yeah.
a mother, and you were just trying to figure what was next.
Yeah.
It's weird. Is not weird. I actually, when I was working on my real estate license, I said, you know what? I want to meet a developer because I want to go into commercial because I felt like I would have more. I liked interior design, so I wanted to be with a new building.
Yeah.
Girl, I thought I had it all planned out. But hearing you, that has been my skepticism too, especially with the way the market is now. Like, do I just go residential? I mean, this is a different topic we could talk about
We
later.
just
But
flow with it.
I can concur with what you're saying because it's not the easiest process.
Right. Yeah.
But your breakthrough was just not making the money that you were expecting to make.
Well, I wouldn't even say from a financial standpoint as opposed to the grind.
Yeah.
Because if you've read Robert Kiyosaki's book, Cash Flow Quadrant, where we talk about EBSI, or, you have the employee, and then you have the self-employed. And that's on the active income side. You have to participate in order to get the income, because if you sit, you're not going to get the money.
Yeah.
Versus the other side, which is the business owner or the investor side, which is the passive income side of living. And so I was like, how do I get to the passive?
Get to the right side. You want to get to the...
You got to own a business or be an investor.
What's the name of the book?
Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki.
It's a purple book.
Purple book. Okay.
That's dope. It's a dope book. It literally opens up your eyes.
Again,
man.
that's Cash Flow Quadrant.
Yes.
Okay,
So quadrant meaning 4. So ESBI.
I wasn't good at math, but I know what that is.
I actually got a T-shirt that says "Get on the right side" and it has a cash flow quadrant on it.
Nice.
I used to teach about it all the time. It's crazy because the E quadrant is for employees, and I think during that time when I was reading it, he said over 97% of the world is in that quadrant. 97.
Oh wow.
So the S is self-employed. I think that was 2.8%. So you got a business. You have a business, but
That was
you're
me, the
in the
realtor.
business. You're being a business, right?
Yeah.
And the B and the I is investment, whether your money's working for you. The money is working for you. To qualify to be in the B, you had to be in a Fortune 500 company. It had to be this big, all these companies like
Different
McDonald's
scale.
and
Yeah.
Chipotle, all that stuff. But I is where you want to be. It's where you're investing your bread and your money is making money.
Yeah. And that's as a
where you come
realtor. Yeah, as a realtor, and coming in 06, 08, I had a lot of investors, looking for deals. And I was like, as a realtor at that time, I felt like they were just dogging us, like, okay, you find me a deal, then I'll do a deal, do something with you. They wanted us to chase the empty houses and bring them deals. And I'm like, I'm doing all this work, but then they're like, it was shady. It was a lot of, So I was like,
Because I'm sure you're showing a lot of properties and they're just like, nope, that doesn't have, nope. So it's like you're wasting a lot of your time until they found that golden nugget.
and then the price point, because with investors, they want to pay pennies on the dollar. And so I'm like, I'm trying to negotiate, and people are losing their houses. I'm like, they don't really want to move. It's like, how do you, so it's kind of torn. But at the same time, being a full-time realtor, to that point, I was like, okay, I don't have a 401k match type thing. I'm not putting money away. This is 100% commission. Granted, I'll pay taxes when it's time. I need to figure out, how am I going to get to retirement? What do I need to do? And that's when I was like, well, I need to invest. I want to be the investor. I want to be in a position where my money is making money. And I was in the S quadrant because I had left corporate and I was the full-time realtor. So I owned my job. But again, if I didn't show up, then I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a strategic move. Like, okay, fortunately for me, I was able to snatch up some houses in 2008, and it paid off. In
that
the
was a good time to buy a house too.
Yeah, and
You
so,
buying a house in 08? You could buy a house in 08, be $132,000. That same house today is worth $500,000.
Yep, that's me.
Wow.
That's my
same
rental.
House. That's the same house.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Let's go back deeper than that. Speaking of your breakthrough, what made you? Because you got a really good grind, right? Your grind is for real. What happened? Because maybe we got the same parallel, right? Like back in the day, I was poor, man. Like I have nightmares of being broke. So, is this a part of your breakthrough? You going through it, or has life been, silver spooned out the game, or what was your growing up like?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I could say that it was one of those similar to your story. We lived in a small house, a 2-bedroom house in a neighborhood called Park Hill in Denver, Colorado. And it was not far from what was Stapleton Airport at the time. And we were like in line with one of the runways and could literally like see the wheels coming down, and the house would shake, like rumble, like wake you up in the middle of the night, just, that. But even with that, my stepdad, he was an iron worker, and my mom, she was a nurse. And so they worked opposite schedules, but it was still kind of a struggle. It was like to see them working so hard and grinding so hard, and then knowing that we still was eating the government cheese and peanut butter and, getting those commodity foods. And farina and all
Have you ever
that.
had that?
But that was good
yeah.
food back then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Listen,
is
we
my grilled
realized,
cheese.
wait,
Let me tell you
that
this:
was-
my grilled
was-
cheese is in the
Right,
microwave.
right.
Look.
I cut the
Government-
government cheese and
we-
put some mayonnaise on it and
yeah.
melted it in the
Everybody got
microwave.
that.
That was my grilled
Look.
cheese.
If it
Let me
didn't melt,
tell you
it
how
was
to-
still gonna
Let
get
me tell you this about
It
MJ.
never cut it
We
right.
didn't have the
Never
cheese
cut
slicer.
MJ, not back then, but let me
Like,
tell
why
you
is this
this.
thing cutting like this? A
Hold
big
on.
old fat piece of
Let's not
cheese,
talk about
bro.
cereal. MJ, my mom, had a damn tin can, and so she would mix all the cereal because we couldn't get the sugar cereal, right? All the whatever the
Whatever the
government gave
wig-
us.
yeah.
She put all the boxes, all the cornflakes and whatever sugar,
Those things,
whatever.
raisin
Raisin bran.
Oh.
She would put them
pull all those
all in
raisins
this.
out.
Hold on, she
So we had to scoop.
Oh man.
Yes, we had to scoop. So we had a mix. We had to scoop out
And pull all the raisins.
Man, when I say we
You don't
know
want to
what
eat after
life
that.
is.
You're
Yeah.
just tired of working. Then you pull raisins up. By the time you don't want the cereal no more.
But you learn to appreciate
Y'all
it.
didn't hear it from the grapevine? California raisin?
No.
so
Don't you
funny.
pull me out again. No.
Man.
We didn't hear it from the grapevine. But yeah, but that was actually good food. We didn't know no better. That was
Yeah.
good time.
When we
You
think
did-
about
you did
it,
know.
we did not go without.
Yes.
Yeah.
MJ made sure we
That's
were
what's up.
fed, but I mean,
But
we
dear-
had
yeah.
similar
Yeah.
That was-
upbringings. As she was working 3 jobs, so we never saw her.
Yeah.
You know, and so when she, I don't even know if she ever slept because she worked so freaking
She's
hard.
trying to get it, but that was the way she was.
raised us well enough that we knew not to open the door.
Right.
We come straight home.
Yeah.
Because we were she terrified us. We thought that she was always watching us even
Yeah.
inside the house.
She
So-
said, I got people watching you. I got eyes all behind my head.
That's
I go,
right.
what?
She know exactly what to
Before
say.
those nanny cams came out.
Girl.
yeah.
There was
the
a
nanny cams,
girl. Let me tell you,
for
she had a
sure.
neighbor. So we went swimming. We were like in the 1st, 2nd grade. We went swimming.
No, it wasn't that young.
We were in elementary.
Okay, but not that young.
Okay, 3rd grade. 3rd grade. Maybe
were
Tristan's
kids.
age. Maybe 10. So we go swimming, and we have our little brother, and all of us we're playing Marco Polo in the apartment pool, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And all of a sudden, the devil was coming. We see
It
my
was
mom
not the
marching.
devil, my mom.
'Cause She,
We were like-
she had to. The neighbor went and called my mom. My mom had to leave work when she worked at a
Oh,
club,
wow.
a bar, right? So here she comes, her white tuxedo shirt and her black pants. And I'm like,
Oh,
I know
man.
that's not mom.
Oh,
so we're like,
man.
Marco Polo, Marco. Then we see her come. We were like, we all just ducked down in that water so fast, like, oh,
wow.
she's gonna kick our ass. So of course she walks over to us.
Oh my goodness.
Get y'all's asses out the pool
Oh, yeah.
now.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
were so scared
Oh,
to go
yeah.
home because
Oh,
we knew we
man.
were about to die.
Yeah.
We were so scared.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out to my mom.
Oh.
Single
Shout out to
parent.
MJ.
Shout out
out.
to single
Yeah,
parents.
you might, girl. I'm sure we all got stories to
Shout
tell.
out to
Yes.
single
Hey,
parents
that's
and Marco
when,
Polo.
That's when food stamps used to pull it out the book.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Man,
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Most, now it's a
So yeah,
card, so you
humble,
can play it
humble
off.
beginnings.
That's
Humble
right.
beginnings. That's
Those
But we
were humble
appreciate-
beginnings,
yeah.
And it has made us want to thrive better
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
just have a different life for our own kids.
So we know our kids probably never understand what that even means or what that even looks
No.
like.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that?
They don't know
But-
what a newspaper look like. They don't even know what a calculator looks like. I mean, they wouldn't even know
They
what
don't
a
know
real
what the-
actual
they don't know
home
what the
landline
struggle
telephone
is,
looks
man.
like.
Or a payphone.
Them damn
Yeah.
Vienna sausages, bro.
Oh, or potted meat. My grandma used to tear that
bro,
up.
I can't.
I can't do it anymore.
No.
I said, listen, bro.
I
She
never
said
ate
no.
those. I just never ate them.
Okay,
No.
yeah.
can't
My
do it.
grandmother used to eat
Okay,
sardines.
sorry,
I'm like,
we
oh,
derailed,
no.
D. We're so sorry.
Sorry,
We derailed.
we derailed.
No,
Sorry.
It's no, but it's not derailing.
That was the breakthrough. That was the breakthrough. Look, I was like, I don't want to live like this.
Yeah. You know,
So-
and that's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Cause me and you never had that conversation, but
no.
like when somebody got the type of grind that she had, like
Yeah.
she's very diligent. She's on top of it, and to keep on wanting being better. And I like
I love
today, I
that.
found out you had gold bullions, and I introduced him to one of my clients. I said, yeah, he has a gold and silver. Oh, she's like, yes, I have a couple of gold bullions. I'm like, you look like
What's
a
a
gold
gold
Yeah, what's
bullion.
the gold bullion?
Is their mints?
Gold.
They're gold.
Like,
She owns
Coins.
gold coins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
just
so
never know.
But
What is
think
it
about
called?
it,
A
the
gold
girl.
what?
well, silver eagle bullion coins.
Bullion,
and then,
okay.
yeah, just,
Are these like coins that are expensive and worth
Yeah,
a lot?
they're worth a lot.
Okay.
yeah,
All
like,
Where
like
did you-
pure
Where did you get
silver.
them from?
You know, back when I was younger, there was, I just was exposed to an opportunity to invest
Yeah.
in that
That's
type
what's
of
up.
So it
It wasn't
asset.
Indiana Jones or anything.
You said no.
Like,
And he wasn't visiting Colorado, was he, girl? Came in there with his trunk and everything. Stop.
And it's interesting because it was called TASA, Tangible Asset Savings Account, and we would basically send money and get coins back, and it was kind of like a subscription, but
Yeah.
just held on to the coins, and,
And
you know,
and think about whenever you did it,
That's
gold
awesome.
gold was way cheaper
Damn.
than
Back
it is
then,
now.
yeah. And
so,
now it's worth,
so
yeah.
now the gold is worth probably 10x.
Yeah.
But-
So
but
Were
it's
you
much-
thinking like this at a very young age?
I guess I was. Now that you bring that up, because even that, I was in my 20s at the time, and I don't even know why. I just figured, yeah, that sounds good. I want to make money and just want it to be worth something. Just always looking forward, like
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess now that you
My
mention
son's
that,
like that. He's 10 and he keeps asking, why don't they have, what did I actually tell you guys? He wanted this class, financial something.
The financial literacy.
It was
class?
that, but it was like on the stock market.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't think they teach 10-year-olds how to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Day
I was not
traders?
just, I mean, but he's about that. How do I make money? I want to work smarter, not harder. You know, he probably sees us,
You get on
his
YouTube
family.
University, it's on there.
YouTube University, but why don't they have? They have all these camps all year. I don't know
yeah.
because I'm not in financial or accountant or anything like that. But
Yeah.
why don't they offer those types of courses for young people?
there's things out there. I mean, April is Financial Literacy Month.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
And so there's a lot. You just have to look. There's a lot of different programs and people having
Wait,
things.
the month of April is Financial Literacy Month.
It is.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. This is so cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of events going on.
Well, I don't know specifically because I'm not seeking them right now, but I
Yeah.
know that, like, for me, since I'm connected to people that are kind of in the industry, I see stuff that they're doing in the community, and
Oh, this is
great. Yeah. So I'm thinking you could go to Eventbrite, and I'm sure there's something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is good. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
April.
So
And it's just good to just be honestly know somebody that's this close. That
Yeah.
So what G was saying was, we are, because I do this too. I teach financial literacy, but I stay in my lane when I'm in this lane with my people. Like when I'm with y'all, I'm about y'all. It's not about me. You know what I'm saying?
100,
So
yeah.
like we do the same. We do a lot of the same thing. But she didn't know that I did this and I did this. When she started talking, she's like, "Whoa, you know what about?" But for us to, G was saying was she wants people like you to break this down in just like layman's terms to where we're like, oh, so that's how. And I think that's where the disconnect, because sometimes it can be intimidating about sometimes when you're talking about, like you said, compound interest and
Compound
understanding.
interest, hard money. I
Yeah.
mean, those are not terms that. I'm beyond.
What is this
we
part
hear
of
about.
the
Yeah.
LLC or the other thing?
No, we were talking about we're talking about now the investing part.
We're talking about
Yeah.
the
the
investing.
financial
Okay.
investing.
Financial
part.
investing. Okay.
And so for people at our age or even young or just period who just don't know, who never heard those terms, what is hard money?
So I want to go layman's terms.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I want you to go and correct me if I'm wrong, and then you go into detail. So, because I think in layman's terms, I want to make people, this is very important.
Yeah.
Right. So hard money versus traditional, right? So traditional, you're gonna go to if you were with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, any of those
The
banks.
loans.
Yeah, you're gonna go get money, and 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be very challenging because they're gonna ask for a lot of
red tape.
stipulations, a lot of it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you can't get it.
Okay.
There's investors out there that says you don't need none of that. As long as you have the asset, as long as you have the money down, I'll give you the money, but I need it right back. But it's going to be at a higher interest,
Got it.
right? So you don't have to go through red tape and all this other stuff. You can literally, as a realtor right now, go into MLS, find a property, find a FSBO for sale by owner, and talk to them and go and flip it. And you don't have the money to flip. Let's say it costs $40,000 to flip this money, or to flip this house, but you don't have it, and the bank not gonna give it to you. You call Dee Garret. She calls all her hard money investors. She puts you with our hard money investor. They'll give you the $40,000. You're gonna flip it. You're gonna put it on the real estate market. You're gonna buy it for $200,000. You're gonna put it 200. You're gonna put $40,000 into it. Now you sell it for
To make sure.
$380,000. You make that spread. You pay back the investor after you make the closing, and because of Dee Garret, now you're an investor.
Got it.
So you have Shark Tank in your hands?
Yes.
essentially,
that was
I mean, that's a great. Thank you for breaking that down. That's
yeah,
great.
that was
Yeah.
good.
Broke it down.
That was
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
That's
and
good.
the caveat is, I mean, to Dream's point, it is a higher cost and it's shorter term.
Yeah.
So it's not intended to be a long-term loan.
Okay.
It's in and out.
Yeah.
And so, there's different terms, different products out there depending on what type of project you're trying to do. Because we can, use hard money. when it comes to new construction, land acquisition, land development, or if you already have rental properties and you want to refinance those properties and get the cash out. You can't go to a regular mortgage owner occupant lender and say, okay, I want to refi, cash out. If you're not occupying the house,
Got it.
They want you to be in the house.
That's right, yeah.
So as an investor, there's what's called debt service coverage ratio, DSCR loans. And as long as with the refinance cash out, they'll give you a certain amount of loan based on the value of the property. And so we'll give you X percent, and then you can take that cash out. And as long as the debt, meaning your mortgage, is covered by your rent or whatever you're collecting, and it makes sense. Usually there's a certain ratio they're looking for when we do the numbers, and they say, okay, well, it matches, it meets the ratio, the appraisal comes in, or maybe you don't need in Texas, you don't need an appraisal actually in Texas for the DSCR loans, but the numbers make sense, and they're like, okay, but they're private lenders. And so, people with deep pockets that just want to make money on their money.
Yeah.
And so
they don't care.
They know the system now.
They don't care what it is. They just want to know bottom
Invest,
line
yeah.
numbers. I give Georgina $200,000. I need $10,000 off my $200,000. I don't care how we do it.
Yeah.
And I need it in 60 days.
Yeah.
Or I need it in 90 days. That's what she's talking about in that 30, 60, 90. So I need it back quickly.
Yeah.
And that way I can take that money. I made $10,000 in my pocket, and I take the $200 and make some more money. So a fun thing for a lot of people to do, even if you're you got an upper hand because you can get on the MLS, but find a property that has been on the MLS longer than 60 to 90 days, which there's a lot of them right now. Look at it, make sure it's cosmetics. Don't deal with foundation at all. And if the cosmetic is like, somebody got a green wall in there, the countertops is outdated, the bathrooms is terrible, but it's a good house.
Foundation, yeah.
You can go ahead and make a deal with that. Call them, be like, yep, I'm an investor. Now you call D, she puts you with the hard money. Y'all go in there, flip the house. You made your 20, 30,000 off the top. But you're going to have to search.
Yeah.
And you have
Putting the work.
you're on the MLS. So a lot of people don't have access like you have it as a realtor.
Well, this is good information.
This is great information.
Yeah.
Who knew what today was going to bring, girl?
Yeah, financial literacy.
breakthrough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that, and she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be a part of this real estate journey with me.
Okay.
Why do you keep surprising
Because
me?
I feel like the twin factor, it's always a wow factor for people, especially adults. And so when we're showing,
That'd be a
I'm
dope-
like,
that'd be a
Fee,
dope little
finger
combo.
ass, come on. Let's go make a sell. Because I feel like
Yeah.
she has an eye for decor and just staging. And so I just feel like she needs to be a part of this journey. But this is so great, Dee. Okay.
But Fee, you can be in it without being a realtor. So she can be the realtor. You can be just the eyes and making the deals, and y'all work together.
We call that an assistant.
There you go.
She's
You can be her assistant.
Hold on.
I don't do well with that word.
What's the word?
Submissive, and I don't do well with assistant. I ain't nobody's assistant. Them days are over.
I know that's right. She's a boss.
Yeah, girl, Fee don't play. I was like, she will walk out in a heartbeat.
Man.
She's already done it before, but she will walk
Say
out.
whatever word, but
Yeah.
I ain't submitting to nothing.
That
He's
part.
not
In my
doing it.
time in the military, girl, there's words that I just don't do well with.
Triggers.
And we call them triggers in here. And so I'm like, assistant.
What is the word? All in. Fee says,
All
I'll
in.
just be
I'll
all
be
in.
all in.
There you
Let's
go.
go. All
But
in.
I think that would be a great dynamic duo for y'all.
I'm telling you, God is working through us, and we
Yeah.
just don't know what else is coming out of this
Yeah.
this journey. And it's 2025 has been amazing thus
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
a lot of breakthroughs.
So when when you find that house and you're ready to flip, there's a product that just came out yesterday that I'm so excited about. I was actually talking about it on my social media. So usually with some of these hard money loans, when it comes to the real estate side, because hard money loans, I can also do SBA, Small Business Association loans, and equipment loans. Like if people have box trucks or, trucking business and they want to expand their fleet, I can help them get funding that way too. But when it comes to the real estate, they want to see experience, that you've done something. But we
Yeah.
have lenders to specific states. There's like 9 states that are participating, that you don't have to have experience.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to have experience. all you need is a 600 credit score, personal.
Okay.
Oh, 600?
600.
Oh, they just
That's
dropped
good,
that.
yeah.
It
No,
was 680 at first.
Well, no, I mean, and this is this particular product. So this one's a
Wow.
600 credit
Okay.
score,
Okay.
$15,000 in the bank.
Okay.
It can be in the form of, retirement funds if you've got it, but have some
401k can be for-
can
okay.
be liquidity. You can't have any derogatory stuff on your personal credit. So usually with a lot of hard money, they don't look at your personal, but this particular product, it is leveraging some of that personal information. But because again, the 600 credit score, that right there,
Yeah.
the minimum loan amount is 100,000 up to 2.5 million.
Oh, nice.
But you know what?
And it's
If
zero
you-
down.
if
Zero
you're-
down.
Oh,
You don't
wow.
have to.
Really?
So the 15,000, yes, zero down.
Zero down.
Zero down. You just need the closing costs and stuff like that, but
What?
zero down. And so yeah, it's super fire.
But you know what? Like, if you got a 600 credit score, something's going on with your credit. You probably got a heavy debt. That's probably, but they not tripping on that.
Score. All we
Wow.
want to know is the
600.
score. We didn't
Wow.
say anything about
Derogatory.
DTI.
Yeah.
That's
Which,
powerful.
if that is the case,
Yeah.
it could be because they've got personal
Exactly.
loans
They got
in
personal
their,
loans, but
get
they're
those
not
loans
tripping on
out of
that.
your name, put them in your
Yeah.
LLC,
Yeah.
put 123 Main Street, LLC, get it out. So, yeah.
This
good
is
information.
very important because for people to understand something, the OPM factor.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use your own money.
Other people's money.
Yeah, you want to go. If Fee and G could buy a duplex, right, without using their own money, and the duplex costs Fee and G zero money out of their own pocket, but they found the property. All y'all did was find it. Y'all found it, did some negotiations. You talked to Dee Garret. Dee Garret got the people with the money. Y'all was just the middle. And then at closing, you walk away with the 25, 30,000. I mean, this is happening every single day.
Yeah.
And that's what the benefit. A lot of people just don't understand, but that's what it is. Because it's a lot of red tape trying to go to a find. You're trying to go to some of these big branches.
Dream, I'd be thinking you'd be reading my journal because I definitely have talked about a duplex with her, and I'm like, girl, let's just in case you leave, at least there's still another, somebody we can rent that out or whatever. But we've talked
Yeah.
about a
Yeah.
duplex. She said no, but I think it's still in the.
And the thing,
Yeah.
keep in mind though, with hard
Well,
money.
at least I would know who's on the other side of the walls. That part.
Yeah. But still, again, so with hard money, the caveat is you can't own or occupy. It's an investor product.
Oh, okay.
But your child,
Oh.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
How,
Like
how old can they
that's
be?
legal enough to rent it out.
Okay,
They're
18,
paying the
18,
rent,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're renting it from you. So
This
I
is
love
good
that.
Yeah.
information.
Or
This is great
a very
information.
close friend.
Yes.
yeah, so
This
it's
is
an
the way to
investor.
do it.
It's an investor product. So just keep that in mind because I actually had someone interested in the land development and they want to acquire the land and build on it, but they want to build their personal residence, and so
Can't do that.
that doesn't qualify.
Yeah, but there's still ways around.
Yeah.
I love
This
it.
is great
This
information.
great information. Oh my gosh. Yes.
So
I feel empowered.
Yeah, we feel the breakthrough.
Yeah.
all around.
Totally.
All around.
So what's not crazy, but taking the first step and having these conversations is, I'm sure, hard for a lot of people out there, including myself. But sitting here and having more dialogue and a little bit more details, it wasn't that painful. It was actually more educating than anything. And like the wow,
good.
like, oh, that's it. Okay, that's it's just it makes sense.
yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think if people are just okay with being open to seeking the information, just like it was a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not something that you can just, content over content, somebody's
Yeah.
following
Yeah.
you and you can eventually get it. But if this is a desire that you have, like, I really want to be an investor, I really want, passive income or something like that. And real estate, a lot of people are pursuing or want real estate and just don't know how to get to it, even from a owner occupant standpoint. But, on the investor side, because being a real estate investor is different than just owning your own property.
Yeah.
It's different. And so I think if that's something that they really desire, then reach out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
look for help. Just look
Yeah.
for help.
There you
And I'm here. I'm like, that's why I say I want to level up, help everybody else level up, family leaders of their personal legacy. We
Yeah.
want to level up each other because ultimately it's what we're leaving behind, for our loved ones or whatever. This is why we do what we do. We're not
Yeah.
just doing it just because it's fun, but you have a goal in mind.
Right.
And ideally you want to be able to have something in your memory. And so if that's something you really desire, take action. Don't just think
I mean,
about
there's
it.
people that have been working for years at one company who have money in their 401k and they just feel like, okay, there has to be something next. I don't have enough in my 401k to retire or to help my family. This could be an opportunity to become an investor. But again, we just don't know how to, where to start. So this has been a great conversation for those. Not just that, people who business owners or who are just working for themselves, or it could be, let me tell you this. When I would get my refund checks, I wish I would have saved them for opportunities like this, but we're not thinking about that because we were not taught financial. I mean, that's just not how we were raised.
Right.
Now I have a 10-year-old who's questioning me, so I feel like I've got to educate myself and work harder to be able to give him some information and prepare him for where he's headed.
Yeah.
So this is great. I think this is just really,
Thank
really
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's a new conversation for me.
Well, and I think going back to your original question about LLC, I think in that process of creating your LLC and establishing your entity, we talked about leveraging the LLC when it comes to investing or using hard money. But going back to that and establishing business credit, I think one thing that is important too that a lot of people overlook is registered agent.
Yes. That's the person that will get you all your, if say that you have a lawsuit filed against you, that they will take care of all your legal matters, I guess.
So it's a point of contact that is not you as the individual, because the whole point of getting the limited liability company is you're severing your liability.
Yourself,
You want to establish some type of anonymity and separate your personal information from your business information. And so it's important to have a registered agent that can actually receive those documents for you, even from the standpoint of your business address. You don't want your business address to necessarily be your home address.
Correct.
So there's some key things out there that, we share and walk you through and help you get established with through our suite, our credit suite that actually goes through LLC formation as well.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, all of that stuff is right there, and it's important to know, which again goes back into when you want to be fundable when it comes to a lender. They're looking at all of that.
I have a quick question. Is it okay to have a business address at one of these like WeWork stations, or what do they call it? Shared
office.
Is that what it's? Yeah, shared
Yeah.
space. Is it okay to have a business address at those locations?
Those specific locations, shared office, I don't know. There's other places that are considered virtual offices, and I don't know because I don't use the shared workspaces specifically.
But
do you know, Dre?
it is okay.
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 It's definitely okay. And matter of fact, there's people that never even step foot in that office,
And
but
have that address.
because their LLC is attached to it, it's worth paying that money just so that they could have went through what she's talking about right now. And absolutely, you got all kind of spots that do that.
Yeah, because I know I use the virtual, but I mean, same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually have a PO box or a registered address that you can use, and all your debit cards and credit cards and everything is attached to there and not to your home.
So that's just like for our viewers. You don't have to have a physical
Correct.
building or office space. You can always, if can't afford that rental,
That is correct.
you can always go to a virtual facility and get an address there.
Yeah, because even with that, because that's the same thing, and most of them offer mail forwarding. So then any mail that comes there, you just have it sent to your home address at that point.
Extra fee.
Okay, that was a tip for you guys.
That's it.
It is an extra fee, but that's a tip.
And that was like one of many tips that you just shared. Dee,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Absolutely, no problem.
Financial breakthroughs today, y'all.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Y'all give it up for YBME.
Yes.
Financial breakthrough.
Financial
Yes.
breakthroughs.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
let's gotta make this money, honey. Come on, B.
Girl.
So definitely, D, want to give you some value here on the show. So definitely, I know y'all looking.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let them know how they can get in contact with you.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram, first initial D, last name Garret _LUA. I'm also on Facebook, DEE Garret. And you can visit my website and apply for a loan or seek business credit at levelupalliance.com.
Man, that's what's
I
up.
love
One
that.
time.
Yes.
Listen, Fee and G, man, y'all, this is
We got Level Up in
This
this
is-
house. We got YBME. We've got Elevate Now.
man,
Come on now.
Dream
let's go.
motivate.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on. Like, listen, this is just
We got
getting
Dream
it-
Motivates
huddle.
in this.
Yeah, we got the huddle. We here, man. One
huddling.
time for God,
I
man.
love
But
it.
God has brought us all together. So I'm
Yes,
excited
for
for what
sure.
God
Yes.
is going to do. The best is yet to come.
That's
That
right.
part.
So listen, guys, this is the YBME podcast. The Man Dream Motivates. We got the Fee Gee twins, and we got Dee Garret. This is your assignment. Your assignment is to like, share, and subscribe to somebody who you care about. You know, stop it having that
Yeah.
stingy energy. Go ahead and share this to somebody, and definitely check out the next episode. YBME, we out of here.
Yes.
Let's get it.
Peace.
Yay.